Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. It's been a few minutes. I wrote on the title, "Where are the women at?" because I noticed that there was 0 on that last call, or whatever it is, Periscope. So if you guys are jumping on for the first time, hello, hello. This is Bethany, Londyn. I'm all about bridging the gap between dreams and reality. But for this, I am calling in my one. I'm reading this book that my friend gave me, Calling in the One, 7 Weeks to Attract the Love of Your Life. And there's lessons every single day. So there's 49 lessons. We've made it so far to lesson 38. Thank you. And today the title is Overthrowing the Boogeyman, which is kind of funny. Oh, thanks for the hearts. But really, I put in the title Fear and Anxiety because that's really what we're covering. So it's just a weird title, Overcoming the Boogeyman. So I'm still on my journey to meet my lovely man, and it's so funny because this chapter is all about anxiety and fear, and I am feeling completely riddled with fear and anxiety right now. I don't know why. I wasn't until I decided to read this chapter and share it with you. And it's kind of funny because I feel like I have as much anxiety as I did the first times that when I first got on Periscope. So it's weird. But anyways, now you guys all know what I'm feeling. So I can continue because I feel clear, since you know. So the first quote of lesson 38 is, "Anxiety is love's greatest killer. It creates the failures. It makes others feel as though you might when a drowning man holds you. You might want to save him, but you know he will strangle you with his panic." Weird, but here we go. Starting off the chapter, Catherine Woodward Thomas, Calling in the One. I love this book. Thank you. So she starts it off that basically getting into an intimate situation with someone is risky business for everyone, especially those that have suffered traumatic experiences and remain unhealed, maybe from abuse, childhood abuse, abandonment. And so a loving connection to them can feel like a lifeline of a nasty storm at sea. Not this type of show. Sorry, we're all about depth here. So, the desperation that many feel can become clingy. It's bottom line is I'm all about love, period. And if we're all coming from a place of love, then there wouldn't be attacks in Paris. And by us being loving, we can create mirrors and expand upon that. So with the ripple effect. So spreading love, doing a day of the daily gratitude, acknowledging people, changing their perspectives on life is so powerful. And so I'm all about taking on the world and increasing love around the world. Starting here. So here, starting with people that have been abused and have had traumatic experiences in their life. These people have, many of them that are not healed, they have darkness. And it's really difficult, and they source bad relationship after bad relationship, or they avoid it altogether. So one of two things will inevitably happen. Either our lover will eventually flee for his life in a relationship with one of these people, in spite of their good intentions to rescue us and play the hero with their hero cape on. Or the second, they end up going under with this person. So either way, the efforts to secure a safe, protective harbor will once again have failed. So instead we gather evidence and more evidence that we can't be in a relationship, can't find love, hello Seattle, and we create this pity party, right? I'm never going to meet a guy, or I'm never going to meet a awesome woman. So we end up going down this dark rabbit hole. Okay, so what she says is that no matter what we do or how hard we try, we cannot shake the constant re-traumatizing of ourselves, repeating it again and again, the dreaded terrors of our past. Because when we do not heal, we attract situations that are going to support, yes! Well, we're going to talk about anxiety, or we are, yeah. I love that you're engaged, though. That's awesome. So, what was I saying? That when we attract a relationship and we're coming from a void, maybe it is from abuse, maybe it's just from fears, like maybe we've been cheated on in our past or something like that. When we're coming from a fear of something like that, most likely we're going to attract somebody into our life that is going to repeat and affirm our deepest fears. And that's what this is all about, overcoming them. So, these fears sometimes are everywhere, like me saying that I had anxiety just jumping on today, or that these fears can be so deep that we don't even recognize them. They're in our subconsciousness. So no matter how we cut it, we can't get around the fact that we are going to have to deal with these very things that we've been trying for years to escape. In fact, the only way out is through. We get to go through. Snow White. I know, I was thinking about going bike riding, but it's freezing out. Ugh, yeah, that's not fun at all. So, I don't know, maybe there'll be some stuff here that supports you. So the one lone solution to overcoming our fears is to stop running so madly from them, to turn around, look them straight in the eye, face them fair and square. So she has this example of a couple here. So Holly and Ken. Holly had moved to LA recently and decided she wants to be an actress. She's far from home, she has few financial resources, and even fewer friends, right? She's new, she moved. So after a few months, she ends up meeting Ken, who is also a struggling artist and an actor as well. So they fall madly in love, and soon after, I can't believe this girl, by the way, Holly starts telling Ken that he should be taking care of her, and she should be moving into his loft, he should be paying for her bills, and all this stuff. Because what she wants is stability, right? And what Ken wants, because he loves her so much, is also to take care of her. But the reality is he's an actor too, and he's still on the roller coaster trying to make it as well. And so he starts wanting to do the shining armor thing and agreeing to do things, but then he's not following through. Sometimes it's purely because he forgets. He assures her, though, that he's going to support her, give her some money, even though he doesn't have any to spare, which I don't know why you would say something if you can't honor it. But anyway, it's a whole nother thing. So next thing you know, his way of supporting that he can do is supporting her by going on auditions with her. So next thing you know, he's supporting her, he's driving her around to auditions, trying to help her get work, but in the meantime, he starts forgetting about his own auditions. And next thing you know, he's totally upset with himself, he's upset with her, she's upset with herself that she's in this situation, and she's upset with him for missing his audition. Are we talking about me? No. I'm not an actress. Do I look like an actress? Calling in the one. We're talking about a couple here. So like Catherine Woodward was just saying recently, is that when people have traumatic experiences, they look to be saved, or they look to fill this void, and somebody else tries to save them, or they end up being dragged down. And in this situation, this guy, Ken, ends up being dragged down with her. So he's not playing the knight in shining armor, he just wants to, and he's not being able to accomplish it. So the thing is that Holly came from a mother who was a rageaholic and very unpredictable. So she had a traumatic childhood. And then she wanted Ken to provide this stability and safety, which is something she's always wanted in her life. She's always wanted this because she's never had it. But what we resist persists. So her worst nightmare is basically happening all over again, because now Ken is angry. He's completely angry, and it's all because of he's being dragged down with her. Even though he's trying to support her, he's not making it happen. And so here he is. Can't win. Nobody can win. So this is a couple who have come together to help heal each other. But the healing for Holly won't come because of Ken providing a safe harbor, nor will Ken's healing come from his ability to get it right by rescuing her. Their healings will come when each other turn away. They turn their attention away from each other as the source of healing, and they do it on their own. Their healing will come when they finally face their own fears that they're so desperately trying to use one another to accomplish. So they get to face their fears on their own in order to make their lives whole and complete. It's not about relying on another person. That's the bottom line in that story for me. So what she says is, truthfully, almost all of us are used to living with an undercurrent of fear just beneath the surface, as though we're running a continual low-grade fever. I can attest. I can fully attest to that, because I didn't realize how much of that I was creating in my body, and that caused my hormone levels to flatline, which you can see if you watch the video that I have for my startup on Health Addict. So we are so awesome at creating stress and letting this fear and anxiety rule our life. And sometimes we don't even recognize it. So yeah, I call it stress. She has other names here: nervousness, worrying, people that are worriers, people that are always irritated with something, and people that are restless. They just have all this restlessness. So we are all pretty much fear junkies, feeding ourselves an endless supply of angst and dis-ease. And what does this then cause? It causes disease. It causes cancer. It causes illness. So solving one problem and another one will come along shortly. We are attached to the drama of thinking that our feelings of anxiety are all about situations that we're currently in. Hello, Armenia. And in truth, it's just the opposite. Our feelings of fear are attracting those very situations that match and then justify their existence. Thank you for the hearts. So, do you see that? We're attached to fear instead of embracing it and falling into it and facing it and just kicking it in the butt. Fear is a free-floating resistance to the inevitable ebb and flow of life, perhaps more poignantly known as death. Rather than to recognize it as such, we attach to it, and then that problem, and then it turns into a problem. This projection, and then that projection. Then imagining something, and then we're basically creating it. We're creating it constantly. Rarely do we experience that fear is actually validated in the present moment. The neurotic anxieties that we experience most of the time are generally divorced from any real or immediate danger. Hello, how true is that? Okay, there's a line in here. Oh my goodness. Rarely do we experience fear that is actually in the present moment. We're creating stories, and the fear hasn't even happened. The story that we're afraid of, or the situation that's going to potentially play out, hasn't even happened yet. We create it to happen. So she gives the example of, let's say there's a storm about to come. You hear it on the news. There's a storm coming, and you know in your backyard you have this huge tree, and the potential of the tree being knocked out by the storm, the branches falling on your house, and all this stuff. You start creating all this drama in your life, and next thing you know, you're cutting down the tree in the backyard. and the storm never even comes. How about that? So that's the situation that she shares, is that we create like this panic attacks and then take action on it and nothing's even happened. Okay, so we've allowed the fear of not getting what we want, of being hurt, rejected, disappointed, or abandoned to dictate our actions, to stop us from taking risks in our life and to control our most intimate relationships. We each have our own version of what fear looks like when it's in the driver's seat and running the show. Thank you. So you guys feeling that? Are you feeling that? Are you catching on that so many times fear is what's in the driver's seat driving us, and really we get to be choosing love? Love. I mean, why are there attacks in Paris? Is it because of love? No, it's because of fear. It's because of fear and a loss of control or gaining control. I mean, it's ridiculous. Okay, moving on. Okay, there's a quote here. In real love, you want the other person's good. In romantic love, you want the other person. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? In real love, you want the other person's good. You want the best for them. You are unconditional. In romantic love and purely romantic love, all you want is that other person. You just want them. But this is about supporting them and raising each other to the next level. Mutually, and being on the same level. Okay. Facing our fears means entering the emptiness of life. It means accepting the possibility and the probability of the inevitable ebb and flow, the predictable loss after the gain. Being open to it all, embracing it all. Wiki knows. Wiki knows. So, we get to trust, we get to choose love, we get to let go of fear and fall into it, embrace it openly, and look at it in the eyes and say, hey, I see you. I see you creating these stories and these conversations that aren't even happening, and move past it. Or just say, hey, what's going on? I appreciate that you're here because you think you're trying to save my life or support me in some way, but I realize that that's really not going to work. Do you guys see the difference? Yeah, tap the heart if you get that. Did that make any sense? Anyone? Okay, no. So when there's fear, it's about seeing it as fear, taking it outside of our body. No sense at all. Okay. Taking this fear and this anxiety and looking at it like an object. Not letting it control you, but looking at it as an object, saying, thank you. I know that you're here because you want to support me, but you aren't. And then looking at it as a gift, putting it over here on the side, and choosing love. So what would be the best option if you were coming purely from love? Did that make sense? Hopefully that made sense. So the next time you find yourself feeling anxious, you can also say, what are you attached to? What are you attached to? What are you trying to control? What answer are you expecting? Expectations. So you want to figure out exactly where this attachment is so that you can take it out, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Like me jumping on and doing a Periscope about fear, and all of a sudden all I'm feeling is anxiety. But I acknowledge that I feel the anxiety and I say, bye. I'm jumping on anyway. And I'm going to share this message because it's important, and 100% of the population experiences anxiety and fear every day. And we get to choose which way we're going to go. So, we are all under the hypnotic spell of fear to one degree or another. It pulls us in, enticing us with its endless chatter of negative projections and imaginings. We must learn to call these anxieties by their name. We must learn to observe them without reacting. Like I was saying, to bring them out of our body and not react, but look at it and say thank you. Then let it go. We must learn to talk back to them, soothe ourselves in their midst, and center ourselves with realistic and empowering self-talk. In response, these looming monsters, the boogeyman, shrink in stature and become more or less impotent to control our lives. As this is accomplished, one step at a time, I know this is big, this is huge, and baby steps are great. We become more available to the many ways in which others offer love to us every day. This may not be offering it in the ways that we are demanding it or even needing it in that moment, but they are offering it in the ways that they have to give. There is a beauty in being available to receive that love graciously and deeply into our hearts and allowing it to touch and nurture us. So, fear, anxiety, box it up, little bow, say hi, thank you, bye. Let you go. I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna choose love and go this way. Okay, so we made it. And the homework is journaling today. So what we're doing is we're journaling and we're writing down our fears, some of our biggest fears, and then choosing the ones that are the most intimidating. So maybe just work with 1 or 2 for this exercise. So it could be abandonment. Maybe maybe your dad left you when you were young, or your mom was never home. Or maybe in a relationship you were abandoned. Maybe appearing needy. Maybe being invisible. Being a doormat. You don't want to be a doormat. You saw that your mother was a doormat, and you don't want to be a doormat, so you're afraid of being in a relationship and recreating that lineage. Maybe you're afraid of death or just the failure because of the failure of your own parents' relationships or your current relationships that keep failing. Maybe you're afraid of loss, of being criticized. Maybe you're afraid of appearing selfish by honoring your own personal truth. Maybe you're afraid of disappointment, mistakes, making mistakes, embarrassment. Maybe you have image issues and you're embarrassed of your weight or something like that. Maybe it's financial insecurity, appearing foolish. Maybe you're afraid of being alone, emptiness, loneliness. My biggest fear is not being able to make babies. That's my fear. Almost 35 here, and I have created a huge issue with my hormones in the past, and I'm told that I can get pregnant, but through all the work that I've done, but you just never know. You never know. And first I have to meet my one. Well, I don't have to, but I choose that route for me. Okay, so now you pick which fear has the most juice for you and allow that fear to write a letter to you. So for me, the fear of not ever birthing a child, I would write that down and start writing to myself a letter from the fact that that's not possible. She has an example here, fear of being alone. So the fear of being alone might say, you'll never be loved. Even if someone does you, they're going to eventually leave. You'll never have someone that really cares about you or somebody that you can count on. So something super evil. Write that letter to yourself from fear, from this fear that you choose. And then we're going to write a second letter. The second letter is us confronting this fear and bringing in certain situations like, you know, I am supported. I'm never going to be alone because I have such an amazing family, or this new family that I've created, or your mentors, your close friends, and bringing up situations that support this fear that let's say, for the example, continuing the example of fear of being alone. So that knowing that you'll never be alone and how the world is abundant with people. Hello? The world is abundant with people. You're never going to be alone. So coming from that place and tackling fear of traffic. Ha! You're funny. I do pretty good living on the west side, I have to say. And when I do sit in traffic, I'm not usually unhappy because I get to call people or listen to a podcast or an audiobook. I really don't mind, but I'm not in it a lot, so that's part of it. So you're going to write this fear a letter from yourself of basically tackling it and minimizing it so that it's this big. It's this big. It's like a speck from your pen. And know that everything's going to be okay. You feel stuck? What do you feel stuck with? Feel free to share. If the fear you are feeling is a valid and appropriate one, such as dying or death, hello, traffic, really? Well, you get to set yourself up to win and leave earlier. And hey, there's always Uber. There's Uber. You could let somebody else handle the traffic. Listening to some calming music as you drive in traffic. Are you being serious? I don't know. I suppose it's a valid fear. But I'm so used to people joking with me on here sometimes, so I apologize if you aren't. So there is some amazing music and calming yoga music, and I would ground yourself before driving in light, in love. I would maybe do a chakra clearing. Bring in light and love into your body, fill yourself up, and place an orb of white light around you. And then by doing this, know that you are safe, you are protected, and I'm not a mother, fruitcake. And then leave in that space and get in your car. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Really? Really? There's got to be more to it than that. So hopefully that helped the traffic issue. I don't know. But I would surround yourself with this light of safety and bring that with you into your car and just keep expanding that light so then once you get in your car, it's all around your car and you're just this light and you have this bubble of safety. You want beautiful kids. Well, I have to tell you, I know some beautiful people that have some not so hot parents. And yeah, there's got to be more to it than looks. Light. Yes, light. White light, by the way. White, glowing light. Ooh, and if you want to take it a step further with the light, put some gold trim around the orb of light. Okay. Yeah. What's more important than having the perfect looking individual is being raised in a whole and complete relationship. I mean, we're on lesson 38 of clearing away trauma from our childhood, abuse, letting go of fears, stepping into vision. If you have somebody that is in alignment with you, is a solid person, and is going to be an amazing parent, that is going to be so much more important. That is going to be so much more important than looks at the end of the day, because even ugly people can be so happy and loving and everything, and it has nothing to do with what they look like. It has to be with who they be. Are they loving? Are they joyful? Confident? That is so much more important and completely surpasses anything physical. Sure you can open up any magazine or walk out in public. Yeah, don't look in the magazines. And you will see some hot men with some ugly women, or some hot women with some ugly men, and it has nothing to do with physical. There is a definite attraction, but that attraction can also be chemical. So yeah, being, it's who we be. Okay, so that's what we're doing with the fear. Oh, she says, okay, if this fear that you are feeling is valid and appropriate, such as, and maybe like a whole nother level of death, she's saying that this exercise is simply to be soothing, self-soothing, to like calm ourselves, calm the anxieties, box it up, give it a kiss, let it go, like a wish. It's not that fears are unreasonable. They sometimes are there for good reason, to tell us to shift and guide us. But it's about recognizing that fear and looking at it and saying, is this fear just an ego thing trying to hold me back? Or is it actually something coming from love? Because if it's a fear coming from love, then this is a whole different story. But typically fear comes from our ego, and we just make up stories. So bonus homework always is that throughout the day, to be in a space of recognizing our fears and identifying it all day long and speaking to the fears as though they were a little child. That's cute. So when fear tells me that I'll never be loved, I remind the fear of the truth that I am lovable and I am actively creating love each and every day of my life. So does that make sense? Oh, she has a prayer too. There's a prayer. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So the prayer is, Dear God, or wisdom, or universe, Dear God, I am being tossed to and fro by this bully called fear, and I'm unable to withstand its constant chatter. Please help me overcome this tirade of negativity that so fiercely demands my attention. Bring comfort and reassurance to my frightened heart. Bring courage and strength to my spirit. Help me to heal the parts of myself that have been so wounded and terrified in life. Help me to remember that I am loved, that I am safe, and that I matter in this beautiful, vast, and glorious world. Thank you very much, amen. So that's her little prayer. And that is the lesson of today. Amen. Yeah. Let God and the angels take care of your fears, right? Let them go. Come from a place of love. Love, 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 love. Then we don't have all this negativity around in the world. Am I 18? Yes, I'm 18. Do I look young? My hair's in a braid because I was going to work out. Okay, I'm 34, people, 34. Hello? Why would I be afraid of not having a baby? Because I'm 34. And I know that I can have babies well into my 40s. I get it. I get it. I get it. I just want to go snowboarding with my babies. I want to take my little 5-year-old snowboarding and hope that I'm still crazy active later on in life. I don't have Snapchat. I have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I do have YouTube. Bethany Londyn. You can always find me at Bethany Londyn. Okay, so tomorrow's lesson is 39. I don't really know what it means, but the title says Being at Cause. Being at Cause. And I would love your support in spreading the messages. Oh, I know. I totally stay away from soy. Don't eat soy. Oh. Well, I love that Periscope, you guys, I don't know if you know, but if you re-download Periscope, you can fast forward. So that's super awesome. And I'm trying to get everything up on YouTube. It's a little time consuming. I would love some support. What time? What do you mean what time? What did I miss? I missed a question. Sorry. What time do I Periscope? Like regularly? I'm really sorry. I have not been consistent about that. Tomorrow I'm discussing being at cause. So if you just jumped on and you haven't been on this whole entire time, we're reading Calling in the One, Attracting the Love of Our Life, 7 weeks, and we've made it to lesson 39 tomorrow, which means 10 days left, people. 10 days left. So we're shedding layer after layer after layer to get to the core of our being. You have anxiety. Everybody has anxiety. Did you just jump on, or were you able to watch the whole entire lesson? I would maybe encourage watching it again. And I would love for you to share this lesson, because everybody comes from a place of fear. And there's two options. Jim Carrey has done, if you want to watch, Jim Carrey did a beautiful message. Oh, sorry. Jim Carrey did a thing on YouTube, or not, it's on YouTube, about fear and love as well. I don't know, a couple years back. And that was really beautiful. Social phobia. Yeah. So you get to conquer it. You get to conquer this social phobia. Because I have social phobia. Oh my goodness, I'm a startup person and I get to talk to people all the time, go to events, and the bottom line is, if I want to make something happen, I get to embrace and go and talk and introduce myself and step into that, and I don't want to, but I do, and then I'm really happy every single time. So I will say, even like doing these Periscopes, I made it to 38. When I first was doing this, I had so much stress every single time. Every single time before I jump on, I ground myself in saying, like, let only the highest truth come through me. You know, hopefully this message reaches the right people and I'm going to be supporting them. And I ground myself in that, because it's really not about me at the end of the day. It's about the message. And so if 500 people jump onto this and they hate what I'm saying, it doesn't matter. It's about the 2 people that jump on and they walk away with something that is going to support their life. And here I am, day 38, and I have to say that I'm getting so much more comfortable with being on video. And last night during the workshop, okay, I do not karaoke. I don't want to sing, but I sang last night at this workshop with a group of people, like five, there were 8 of us singing Grease, just kicks, we were just being goofballs at the end, just to like change the energy up. So we're singing Grease, 4 girls, 4 guys, and I was so embarrassed. And I just did it. And after like 10 minutes of singing, because we were practicing, obviously, I don't know the words, I became more comfortable. So I'm like, you know, I'm all about stretching and jumping into the fear, jumping outside of the box. And the more I do it, the easier it is, because I'm rewarded every single time. Every single time. And even if it's something that may not look like a reward, like maybe it's an obstacle or a challenge or a downfall, it's a lesson, so it is a reward. People want my approval, or you want, yeah, it's all about honoring our own personal truth and not being affected by what other people are saying. So that's actually one of the YouTube videos I did. One of the YouTube videos, what was it? If you look it up, you can just look me up, Bethany Londyn. But the YouTube video is external versus internal validation. External versus internal validation. I think I did it outside, so it's not the best, but the message is solid. So I would check that out. Yeah. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube videos. I was trying to go to a YouTube thing today, and apparently I can't go because I don't have 500 subscribers. I'm like, really? I'm just trying to learn here, people. My name is Bethany Londyn, Londyn. And doesn't it show if you swipe a little to the left or something, it shows my name and a website? No? How can I subscribe to you? Well, I know you can follow me on Periscope by following. Like if you just swipe like this, I think it shows something to follow me. And then you can also share that way. So you can share this like through Twitter. I share on Twitter. You can copy links and share it to Facebook. On YouTube, though, if you go to YouTube and type in my name, Bethany Londyn, Londyn, there's like a little red box that says subscribe. So you can do that. And I would love that if you want to subscribe to my messages. Even if you don't get value, it's about the people that do get value. Okay? Oh, gosh. Okay. I know I'm a goofball, but I own it. I own it. I own what I do. And so every time that I do that, things just get better and better and better. I mean, my parents, they create the most pressure in my life. Seriously. I don't know about you, but my parents create my pressure. And they are all about results, which I get because I'm about results as well. And I'm definitely following the lineage. But at the end of the day, I got to honor myself and trust that I'm on my own journey, and it's beautiful. And that's fearful. That's stressful to do. It's stressful every day. But I'm working on it, and I got to say it's been getting easier. I've been working on this for like 3 years of personal development. And now I can coach it. I mean, crazy. You just never know where life's going to bring you. How can you subscribe straight to me, like on what channel? Bethany? Bethany Londyn. I mean, you can Twitter me, message me, you can Facebook message me. I've had people that I've been Facebook messaging with. I see what you're saying. My journey is calling in the one. Oh, my journey of personal development. I'm a growth-seeking being. I just am always on the improving. Always trying to improve myself. Where can I go? What's the next level? I have coaches. I coach. I'm running this startup, and it's a huge thing. Being an entrepreneur is a huge emotional roller coaster. But I believe in it so much. Okay, yeah, do it. I believe it in so much and I feel so in alignment with it that it starts to override the fear. It overrides the fear. That's why I'm talking to people at networking events, at startup events, because I get to override my fear. Yes, I'm single, or I wouldn't be doing this. Calling in the one. You guys are funny. Okay, so I'm gonna go now. There's fears everywhere, every day. I know you have fears, so rewatch this, and you'll get the message, hopefully. Or don't rewatch it, and we're gonna make some magic happen. Okay, there's lots of videos. Oh, you can find them on Catch. I just don't know if you can fast forward on Catch. That's why I need to do it on YouTube. But yeah. So I gotta run because I'm gonna go hang out with my sister. And I do have somebody that wants to hang out tonight. I don't know that it's gonna happen. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going with the flow. Being my feminine beauty. Going with the flow. And creating magic. And I'm grateful for every moment. Why not? I'm going to go. Because I could talk all night. Bye. Spread the love. Bottom line. Spread the love. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow about whatever that message was. I don't get it. Being at cause. We'll find out. Thank you. That's very sweet. And thanks for all the hearts. Okay. Bye.